will I fail to raise them? I don't want to, I tried my level best. There are a lot of chances where I made a lot of mistakes. But at the same time, it is not about how many times you fall, it is all about how many times you raise. And I feel that is important. Many people count their success, but for me, I cannot say that I really success or not, but my survival is a life second chance given to me. So I want to utilize it very wisely. And the most important is getting up from where you fall and start all over. I feel like that is more important rather than counting how many failures you have. So yeah, of course, I'm going through a lot of hard times. Until now, I don't have to lie about it. Until now, as a woman, you need a partner where you can share your thoughts, emotions, your every decisions. It is hard to take it on your own, but everything I have to take it and do it. I am a mother and a father in my house, playing the role of both. So it is not at all easy for me.
Rebecca, they say that God can't be present everywhere, that's why they created mother. And I'm really very happy for your kids that they got a mother like you, the strength that you have. We know as kids, they have suffered a lot mentally, I would say.
Yes.
What do you think? How much have they recovered from the trauma that they went through?
Yes, that is a very good question because our background. My husband is a Meitei. Okay, we are from an intercaste marriage, and
I'm sorry to interrupt. Where was your husband when all this
Dubai.
happened?
He was in Dubai. My husband was never with me. He is in Dubai. I was raising the kids and staying in Imphal. Because of their schoolings, I have to stay in Imphal, and my business and everything, it's more convenient to stay in Imphal, and he lives in Dubai. So at the time of conflict also, he was not there. And because he couldn't be there, he is overseas, so everything has to be managed all by myself. And being an intercaste marriage is very difficult because it is easier to face together than alone. So, like my husband was totally in a different world and during that point of time, and then I have to go through all by myself. And when at the time of crisis, since he was not there at the place, a lot of things he misunderstood. Then I cannot share everything with him. Not only the distance, but in Imphal they own a media house, okay, and they spread everything as per their narratives. So to the people outside, they believe in all sorts of narratives, whether it's right or wrong, whatever the narrative they had created, they believe it. So it was hard for me to convince my husband to understand the actual situation. And I was actually offline from social media for 2 months as soon as the crisis erupted. I did not even put up a status. I did not write anything. But when things are not getting the way I expected, then, and when I heard about our woman being raped, killed, burned alive, and then ambulance incident, it's like my heart was pierced with a spear. I felt so painful and so hard that I said, I am also a victim. My fellow woman has been treated and died like that. Why should I remain quiet? I said, then I started using Facebook online, and then I posted in my feeds about my encounter. I have not spoken about anyone else. It was only about what I've encountered, how I survived. I wrote it. The thing that hurt me most is that the people who attacked me that night on the 3rd of May was the Meitei, groups of Meitei living in the same locality. And to be precise, they know very well that my husband was a Meitei. And in any Meitei occasions like Chakova, Chairauba, or Tabanchongba, all these are Meitei's event. Since I'm married to Meitei, I'm also a part of it, so I donated. It might not be a huge amount, but whatever they comes, they used to come. We used to have chai together. I used to go to their place, to the Manipuri mothers, to their house. We eat together, we drink chai together, everything. We used to talk about our families. They used to sell clothes, I used to buy it from them. We borrowed money. So all these kind of normal relationship with so much loving and caring kind of relationship was there. So in spite of knowing that I am married to Meitei, why do they attack me and my children? So this was a question, I raised it in my Facebook post, and because of which, and I said that this Mera Party is in Langol, or the youth clubs in Langol, why do they refuse to give away my stuff? Because during that time, they robbed my clothes, my everything, but whatever remaining furniture I have, I told my in-laws to go and pick it up. So my in-laws went there, they said you have to take permission, written permission to the youth club, to the Mera parties, they give money to all of them. To the Imphal police station, they give them money, and then they have to take NOC from the army, NOC from Mera party, from the youth club, from all, whatever they ask and demand, they give money, and at the same time, they follow their instruction. In the end, as they started moving out my clothes, my stuff, then what did they say? Cookie report Kubayaro, which means she is Cookie, you cannot take her stuff. My mother-in-law fought. You know, she said that my daughter-in-law is Meitei, she's not Cookie. She fought, and they held her hostage in the Mera Party office, and people gathered. That time UNC came, Kokomi came, and they called, and then they had a huge argument. But luckily there was one sweet lady, she understood, and then she let them go. So that time my vehicle was, somebody snatched it away, my bags, my valuable stuff, I don't care all of it. Whatever they want, take it, I don't care, I said. As long as they, my in-laws, they came back home alive and well, then it's fine, I said. Let them take whatever they want, they snatch away so much from my house. Then, now the building itself is not there anymore, they disrupt everything, nothing is there, it's like a wasteland only. But the thing about their taking away things, this material thing, I don't care anymore. The only thing is that they say that Cookie stuff you cannot take. So they branded me. I don't have to say I am Cookie, I am a Cookie woman. The Meiteis are the one who, point finger at me saying that she's a Cookie. So from their actions, by their words, they confirm that I am Cookie. So why should I go back to Bisnupur and act like a Meitei Bahu? I cannot, no? Because they already tagged me first of all, they attacked me and my children. There is one point that they still treated me like a Cookie, not as their own, even though in spite of being married to them. Secondly, when they were about to take my stuff, they said, she's Cookie, you cannot take. So I don't have to tell the world what I am. The enemies are telling me, and they spread it out loud, they say it out loud that I'm Cookie. So I told, in one of my feeds, I wrote, I don't have to justify who I am. I was wearing one Meitei dress and I posted it, okay? I said, I don't have to justify who I am because my roots and my identity has been clarified by the Meiteis only. So from the time they came and attacked me and my household, that is the time my relationship is already broken, and I will live among my people, and even if I have to die, I will die among my people. That was my standpoint, and that is the reason why I update what I have encountered, everything on my Facebook page, and then because of which my in-laws were attacked by the youth club. They threatened and warned them, saying that your daughter-in-law, she's supposed to talk about in favor of Meitei. Why is she talking about against us? Then my mother-in-law called up, Ibema means like my dear daughter, like that. No? It's a good word. She said that, don't post so much. My mother-in-laws and father-in-law, they are the kindest people I've ever met, And my in-laws, my husband family side, all my in-laws, they are very good and wonderful people I'm so blessed to have them, and they are concerned. They say, it's okay when they attack me, but please don't write anything. Now people will think so, talk bad about you. I said, Ima, whatever I wrote today is going, because that time memory was fresh and painful. That's why I wrote it down. Later on, if I have to look back, then I remember everything I said. Whatever, the way they treated me, the way they have done to me, I wrote it as a witness, because these are not a story that I just make it out. these are the stories which I've encountered, and this will remain forever here as long as Facebook exists. Then my post will be there. No? I never deleted all those posts. I kept it as a reminder for me also, and what had happened. Because sometimes memory fades. That is why before every memory fades, I just posted. I never say these people are bad or good or this and that. I wrote purely about what I have encountered that during that particular night. So people